Um,
Say hi.
Hi. So, hello. So today what I was going to do is cut some branches that got knocked over in a windstorm and cut them up for making like spoons, or like I've been making ornaments or carving spoons and stuff. I'm gonna try to film a lot of that process. I'm like barely learning, like I just completed like my first spoon that actually turned out today. So we're trying, we're learning. But I got this on Amazon, this little silky saw. It's called a Gomboy. I really hate the name.
I kind of love it.
Gomboy? It's like Game Boy, but worse.
It's got a bad mouthfeel.
But this saw is pretty awesome. We've purchased, what, 2 Fiskars?
Garbage.
One's from like Home Depot, and yeah, they don't last very long at all. They're kind of, they just dull like maybe after like the 3rd or 4th thing you cut. It's just like noticeably taking way longer. This, I've cut quite a bit with it already, and it makes a really nice, clean cut.
And we'll link it in the description for you guys if you'd like.
And this is like a little hatchet type of axe. It's called a boy's axe. It sounds kind of weird saying that when I'm a grown man. But I got this from somebody I found on Instagram called Axe and Tool Co. And he makes like custom stuff. I just thought it was really awesome. This has been really awesome. I have kind of used and abused it. I wish I would have not, because it was super clean and beautiful. It still is, but I need to sand the handle and refinish it. But this guy makes really awesome stuff. If you can, it's kind of pricey. They're in the UK, so I think everything's kind of pricey over there. So these are the 2 tools that I'm gonna be using today. And yeah, I'm gonna get to work. I don't really have a plan for any of this, other than I want to make something cool out of it. I've seen people use like the crooks right here to make little, almost like scoop spoons. So I might try to make one of those. I'm gonna cut this tree. This is the one that fell and knocked all these small maples down. I'm gonna debark it, cut it into 12-inch rounds, dry out the rounds, and then use those to make a cordwood building. I don't know what we're gonna use it for. I don't really have an idea. I just kind of want to build something out of cordwood. I just think it looks awesome, and it's free material when trees fall, as long as they're not already rotten. I think it'd be fun. It'd be a cool project. And the more we live here, the more I want to like build on this property and build it up, have this property be like a legacy family type of property to where we would pass it off to our son. Ideally, we build all this, you know, we think it's cool, all this cool stuff. He would appreciate it because like it would be his childhood and you'd remember and have good memories of it. And then he'd want to take care of it and keep the land for himself and his family. That's the goal anyway. And a lot of our neighbors like have that same type of goal in mind. It doesn't always work out. Like our next door neighbors, like our closest neighbors, I think that's kind of what they had in mind. And their kids just, they have their own lives and they're doing their own thing, their own families. And he was saying that the property's just getting to be too much for him. So they're probably gonna sell it here in the next couple of years. That would suck, but also I see why. It's cold here in the winter, kind of miserable. I think when I'm old, I'm probably out of here too. I'm probably gonna go somewhere warm. So I have all these ideas, but you know, life finds a way, as Jeff Goldblum says. So anyways, I'm just babbling to a camera, probably won't post any of this. So hi, Kristi. And I could use a chainsaw for this, but something about doing it by hand in the quiet. Like I see why people do it, I guess. Use hand tools to build things. It's so much more like peaceful rather than hearing like a noisy, chainsaws are awesome, but like hearing a noisy chainsaw for too long really damages your hearing, ruins the nature experience. It gives me a workout too. This feels like a workout at least. Kind. Kind of pathetic that it does. Look at that sucker. Yeah, this saw works awesome. I really like it. I was thinking it was going to be super overhyped or something, or like just another kind of junk thing that people like talk about a lot, because I watch a lot of YouTubers who use these, and I'm like, is it that good? I think it's pretty good for the price. Well, there goes these pants. Savage. They shredded right down the middle. I've had them for a while, and they've gotten bigger. My balance is bad. I'm out of shape. The balance is real bad. Real bad. This is pretty cool. I'm excited to figure out how to do something with this. I don't know what I'm going to make out of it. It's kind of groovy, twisty, so should be able to make something cool. And this is the last section I'm gonna cut. Then I'm gonna start like making spoon blanks out of this. I like being able to carve at night, and I don't always want to use power tools or like be in the garage. We have a truck parked in our garage right now, so I can't really use the garage. But yeah, the only real time I'm able to go do like a project is at night, and it's nice to just like be able to sit in front of a TV or something and do that rather than sit in front of a TV and do like scroll TikTok, which is what we usually do. One thing I would like to do spring, summer, sometime in 2023 is start clearing out a lot of the English holly. And I just looked it up, and it says that they're not technically invasive. They've naturalized here, so they do grow everywhere, but they're not listed as invasive right now. But I would say on our property, like there's one right there, there's one over there, there's a million on the ground, because they have hundreds of thousands of these red berries, holly berries. And so they're just replanted everywhere on our property, which most of the stuff that's natural to our woods isn't all thorny and like uncomfortable to walk through. It's like fern, and even our berry bushes aren't very prickly, like the salmonberry and gooseberry and all those. Their thorns aren't not nearly as bad as the Himalayan blackberry that we have. So we're trying to clear out like all that non-native undergrowth and like tree growth too, because look at this, is a pretty big tree. The other one's a pretty big tree, like this one's probably 25, 30 feet tall, and they're everywhere. I'm talking everywhere, so I won't feel bad cutting down most of them and leaving like one or two, because we use it for Christmas decoration, and it's kind of cute. These are the type of trees that we want. These are our native hazelnut tree, this little thin guy right in front of me, and we want more of these type of trees. We have bitter cherry over there, a wild cherry, and a bunch of vine maples. These are like what all the native species really thrive on, and they're just way nicer and prettier in our area. So that's what we want more of. I'm going to clear out like the hollies and the blackberries and stuff. I'm not sure how well this is going to record. I have a plastic bag over the camera. I already recorded this, but I think I'm really quiet and I was really far away, so I'm trying to be closer to the camera. Bear with me. I'm like the worst YouTuber. I wouldn't consider myself a YouTuber. I was just going to talk about what my plan is and what my goals are for our property in 2023. What I want to do for a lot of 2023, Kristi has a lot of other goals too, so it's going to be a busy year. But what I want to do with our actual property is make it more accessible, because right now it's not accessible. It's really hard to get to the back 2/3 of our property. There's trails, but they're all overgrown and blackberry covered, and there's trees that have fallen, and our hill is really steep, so it's super inaccessible. So my goal is to make pretty much all areas of our property accessible to hiking, riding a mountain bike or a dirt bike. I want to cut trails in, make stuff like this nicer to where like you're not going to be tripping on yourself. There's not a bunch of branches and sticks everywhere. So I'm probably not going to be able to do it for our entire property this year. Like, to be honest, it's a lot. Basically, what I want to do is cut through all these trails. I'd love to plant some native species of trees and some fruit trees and berry trees and stuff that are either native or like not noxious or invasive. And a lot of the stuff that we find along the trails, like a lot of these branches and stuff, we'll probably just burn the small ones. And if there's like larger diameter logs or branches out there, we'll either use them to make steps, or if there's some really big stuff, I might make some like benches along the trails, because I want our trails to be like a park. The idea for it was to just plant a random rhododendron or camellia or something here and there, to where when you're out walking, there's just like little pops of color and surprises. Because right now, we got a lot of holly trees, a lot of blackberries, and a lot of like down tree limbs and trees, and no real like comfortable walkable trails. Kristi doesn't really like being out here in the woods, and I don't blame her, because it's really uncomfortable walking through blackberry bushes and stinging nettle and stuff. So I want to be able to make some areas that we can all get out as a family with a 2-year-old and enjoy our property. That's the goal, is to be able to enjoy like more corners of our property. And like put a fire pit here and there, or a bench, or just something cute to where there's a destination, you're walking like on a little hike, and you get somewhere. And yeah, so that's kind of my goal. It's going to be a lot of work, especially without any kind of like heavy machinery, but yeah, that's the goal. That's kind of the goal for 2023 for me. There's other things that we're planning, like we want to get chickens in the spring. We want to extend our garden. We want to make a huge garden this year. We had a pretty big garden last year, but we didn't densely plant it, and we did a lot of things wrong. So we're going to try to remedy that. Drip irrigation. We're going to do a cut flower garden as well. So that'll be something new for us this year. I might try to do a pond. I don't know. There's a lot of projects that we're going to try to be filming. We're going to try to be like way more active on this channel. We're doing all the projects anyway, and we have been all along. Like, we've been doing it quite a bit. Some of the before and afters that we've looked back at, we're like, oh my god. So I don't know why we're not filming it. It's just kind of like you get in your own head, you get unmotivated, and you just end up being like, no, let's just get this done rather than filming it. But we're gonna try to get out of that mindset. I think we need to be in a more of a healthy relationship with making content, since it kind of is our job, and because I like sharing stuff that I make, and I know Kristi likes sharing stuff that she makes too. We'll try to bring you along with and show you all the little projects we make along the way, but that's like the big goal. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff. I have a ton of ideas. I got a Pinterest board that's like full of a lifetime worth of projects I probably won't get to, but we'll try. I'm not very good at talking to a camera. I feel ridiculous, so forgive me for looking around and being awkward. Yeah, sorry about that. Well, that's pretty much today's video. I wish I had more. Of course, it stops raining as soon as I'm done out there. That's usually how it goes. So that's some of the projects that we're gonna be working on for 2023. We'll bring you along the way, and we want to document a lot more of it than we have been. That's another part of we didn't really do New Year's resolutions, did we? Not really.
Kind of mine is just to work harder, maybe.
Yeah, overall work harder and document more and keep up with our channel and. That about wraps up today's video. I just wanted to cut some of those branches, bring you guys along, kind of explain what the goal is for 2023, at least one of my bigger goals that I want to do. But yeah, we'll film everything along the way and try to bring you guys along, because we want to. So, too bad. Too damn bad.
That's too damn bad.
Thanks for watching. See you on another time.
You're so cute. This is gonna be magical soon.